Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a Mike's Positively Technical World video review. Today we're going to have a look at this. It's the Worx wx066. It's also known as the Sidekick. What is it? It's quintessentially a 60cm by 60cm completely portable table. It's fairly lightweight. It weighs in at 6.2 kilos, which means it's more than adequate to be able to carry it around on site, or maybe even at the local campsite. If you're camping, this would be really, really good. So as a little small pop-up, compact. Obviously, you can stick it in the car, but a compact sort of like pop-up table for doing like maybe cooking on. But it is plastic, so bear that in mind. It's extremely sturdy. It holds, according to the stats, 135 kilos, which is a lot. Let's be honest. It holds it on four legs. They are compactly sort of stored inside. Well, kind of. They stick out either end, bless them. Inside this, and it's sort of like got foam bits inside which hold it. It's nicely secure, and it stands at I think 913 millimeters in height. That 913 mil is like a universal height that everything in the world is kind of set against now when it comes to bench heights and stuff like that. It is literally the universal height that everything goes by. So yeah, let's get it set up and have a look at some of the, I don't know features, but some of the things you can do with it, I guess you could say. So let's go have a look. Okay, so here we are. I've separated the legs out of the box, if you like, the case. The top obviously turns into a two halves carry case, as it was. And you've got these very cool little tabs here that come undone. They hold together the case for when it's in transported mode. They also serve another function, which I will show you in a small while. We're just going to rotate them around to here, so that way they're out of the way. So I'm going to put this on the workbench, and then we're going to extend this. To extend it, all you need to do is grab hold of two, either opposing or opposite. And they have a not very sturdy looking setup, and you sit there going, right Mike, what on earth are you going on? You said 135 kilos on this thing. Take your top, place it in, and then you'll see these. Actually, let's just detach the camera. If I flip you around, ooh, look at me go, right. So yeah, you've got these rotate. Let's give them a 90-degree turn. Just to lock them in place. And then the table becomes really, really rigid all of a sudden. You can see just there. Try and get the lens cap out of the way, bless it. It becomes very rigid. It's got similar functions to the Pegasus. It's got obviously the recesses there where you can put things like your pencil, drill bits, or anything like that you're using. It's also got the measurements on it as well. The measurements are both in imperial and metric, and they obviously are 0 censored, and then go out to 240 mil is where the numbers start at. But you can also see here that it does actually go out 250 mil, 25 centimeters, or approximately 10 inches, or about 10.5 inches. If you want to work out the metrics on the imperial scale there. It also has some like loading figures here. Maximum weight of 300 pounds, 135 kilos, that's in metric and in both imperial. Don't stand on it and don't sit on it. Yeah, I would do that just to prove how sturdy it is, but it says don't do it, so I'm not going to disobey the rules. I know it's a bit of a miracle for me, but you know, let's just not mess around with it. It also features underneath here. It says some dog clamps. Now, as you remember the video that I'd done a couple of years ago now about the Pegasus and its dog clamps, you know I'm not really a fan of them. However, I've kind of come to love them. They're pretty good for doing straight 90-degree angles, providing you've got straight 90-degree cut wood. you put 2 in along the straight face, here and here, and here and here, and then you can put your wood along here and along there. Make sure it's 90 degree, and where it butts up here, you'll get a 90 degree join, and that is quite cool. But yeah, you can keep your wood straight. It doesn't come with any clamps, this, which that'll be kind of thing. What do you want? Oh, your table. It is a universal table at the end of the day. It is not specifically designed for any one piece. You'll see underneath, like most of these dog clamp sort of affairs, dowel holes, whatever they want to be called, they go right the way through underneath. You'll be able to see. Ooh, that's a bit of a weird angle. I can't see what you just saw, but there we go. They go straight the way through and push them through, and then they store underneath, which is very cool. The next cool thing, if you like, is if you get multiple sidekicks, of course you can pluralize that nice and easily, then you can do this. So what I've done here is basically you get a sidekick, you put a sidekick next to a sidekick, you then have a pair of sidekicks, and then what you do is you take the orange like tie that was holding the 2 halves of the case together, and then you just simply place it between there and there, and there and there, and then you kind of tied 2 tables together, therefore you have a pair of sidekicks. I think that's the best way to describe them. And obviously you can mass 4, 8, 6, 5, however many you want together, make them long, you can make them square, you can bring them right the way out to here if you really wanted, and also you can then get your Pegasus, which I'll bring out in a second, and you can see, and you can put it next to it. However, it doesn't join as well as what I would personally like, considering it's out of the same series and it's clearly designed to join together. I think these are meant to join individually, but they can also join together with with the Pegasus, as well as having the Sidekick, and I'll show you that in just a second. And there you have it. You've then got your sidekicks, plural, attached to your Worx Pegasus. Like I said, it does work, but you need 2 of them to attach it, and then you end up with this sort of staggered formation. You've got 2 Pegasi, and you do have obviously connection for a Pegasus, and then you've got your 2 Sidekick tables. But as you can see, the ties, this is going to sound really complicated to try and explain, but you got the tie from this side doesn't tie up from the tie from that side, it ties up from the tie from that side, which is the same as that side from the other table. Therefore you can only join 1 Pegasus to 2 Sidekick tables. If you really need that much table space, you'd have probably a permanent table, but if you are looking at having a mobile table system, make sure you get 2 of each. Obviously there's nothing stopping you from putting a Pegasus the other side as well, but you can't put them next to each other. That is a slight oversight, I think. I have tried it the other direction, because the Pegasus, and the shape of the Pegasus, it means you can't use that hole and that hole, because that hole and that hole are the same size as those holes there. That's quite annoying, but it's a small price to pay for what is otherwise a pretty fantastic, designed mobile table system. Like I said, I mean, you could almost even set up shop on that. Quite literally, if you want to do a car boot sale, you could stand here, have your items around you, all up and ready. Obviously, the Pegasus does obviously feature the cool like groove rails, where you can then have the clamps in as well, so you can then clamp and support potentially a longer piece. There's also nothing stopping you potentially from having a 3rd Sidekick on the end there, and then that would increase obviously your load space available on the table system. But like I said, that offset bit does kind of, I don't know, it's a little bit annoying, but we've seen worse. Alright, I have seen worse. So yeah, that altogether is the Worx wx066 Sidekicks. and connected to the wx051 Pegasus. Yeah, let me know in the comments if you want me to do anything else a little bit more mad, or see whether or not they, I don't know, maybe they stack or something like that. I could show you that potentially. If they do, I don't know. Let me know what you want me to do, and I'll see about doing it. Anyway, guys, as always, like, comment, and subscribe, and I shall see you in the next video.